Good evening, everyone. I'm Rizki. I will explain the contents of the journal given by my lecturer as my midterm topic material this time. Journal title: Student Participation in Online Speaking Class, a Case Study. Inti Englistina, Novita Al-Hiyadiani, and Steffi Mega Mahardika are the authors. Published in August 2021, the authors from the University of 17 August 1945 Semarang. Introduction. University students who take English as their major will learn various subjects to support their English skill, such as speaking, writing, reading, listening, and many more. One of the interesting classes for them is speaking class. This class give the opportunity for them to improve their ability in English speaking and explore their creativity during class activities. However, not all the students have self-confidence to speak English in front of the class or to their classmates. According to Riyasati 2018, one of the factors that make students not active is speak during teaching and learning processes is that they are shy to speak using English. Other problems on speaking English are mentioned by No Preval 2017. Those are 1. Inadequate vocabulary knowledge, 2. Grammar as the stumbling block, 3. Fear of negative response from others, 4. Low self-esteem to speak in English, and 5. Feeling anxious to speak in English. All these problems can be solved by well-designed teaching methods. Therefore, teachers need to improve their teaching techniques to stimulate them to be active in class. This has become complicated after the pandemic. They cannot do their activity of teaching and learning in class anymore. Pandemic is not over yet, and online class still becomes the choice for the learning and teaching process. The online class seems to have the same problems. One of them is lack of students' participation. According to you, there are some problems faced by the learner in speaking activity. These problems can be explained as follows. Inhibition, unlike in reading, writing, and listening activities. Speaking requires some real-time exposure to audience. Commonly, learners are often inhibited from trying to say things in a foreign language, such as feeling worried about mistakes, fearful of other criticism, or ashamed of the attention that their speech attracts. Lack of theme to be spoken, some learners to get difficulties in thinking about of anything to say. They have less motivation to express themselves beyond the guilty feeling that they should be spoken. Lack of participation, mostly in a large group of people or in a certain situation that include some people such as in the classroom. At least a person only who speaks while others are just the listener dominantly. This situation makes for the unlived conversation among them. It means that the skill of speaking is not supported yet sufficiently. The use of a mother tongue. In several classes, the learners usually say something in the mother tongue. They may tend to use for some reasons. Firstly, it is easier. Secondly, it feels unnatural to speak in a foreign language to one another. Lastly, they feel less exposed if they are speaking their mother tongue. When they are talking in small groups, it can be quite difficult to keep using the target language. Method. The method is used qualitative. The study data was collected from interviews and questionnaires filled by the second and fourth semester students of Language and Culture, Faculty of 17 August 1945, Semarang, Untak University. State descriptive research will aim to providing as accurate an account as possible of what current practice is, how learners do learn, how teachers do teach, what classroom do look like at a particular moment in the particular place. Therefore, a kind of research method is suitable to describe the related matter which are being discussed in this research. The study was conducted during an even semester of the academic year 2020 to 2021. The research collected the data from events, respondents, and documents. The event refers to process of implementation of teaching speaking online. The respondent refers to the lecturer and the students of semester 2 and 4 of the Language and Culture Faculty of Untak Semarang. The documents were the speaking materials from the lecturer, the question sheets, and the video of discussions section in speaking class. The writer used an interactive model of analysis that include three main components, namely the reduction of the data, the display of data, and conclusion of verification. In this system, the writers always move among three analysis components during collecting the data. After collecting the data, the writer moves among the three components of analysis by using the rest of the time. Sutopo 2006. The data analysis model is shown in the figure 1 below. The writer used an interactive model of analysis that includes three main components, namely the reduction of the data, the display of data, and conclusion or verification. In this system, the writers also move among three analysis components during collecting the data. Figure 1 is the good example. Finding and discussion. In findings have technical issues are student contribution, student condition, and internet issues. Student contribution. It has been asked how often the student participate in class discussion. From the question, have some good percentage or high percentage of the student always participate in class discussion, and only among 25% of the students sometimes participate in class discussion. In figure 3, it can be seen that high percentage of the students understand that their participant is being graded. Referring to that data, the ideal class situation would be very active with the student participation in class discussion. In figure 4, we can see average percent of the student never choose not to participate in class discussion because it will be graded. But there are still many students who sometimes choose not to participate in class discussion, although they know that it was graded. From the questionnaire asking about the student condition, it can be seen that most of the students understand that their participation in class is being graded. Student condition reluctance becomes one of the factors that affect the respondents' participation. Only among 35.7% said that they rarely feel reluctant to participation, and among 25% said sometimes. It means they are willing to participate in class discussion with their own will, and they do it happily as they also enjoy the class activities. The fact that it was being told so many times not to have that though couldn't affect the whole class. It is a pity since learning languages need to be practiced. Moreover, by doing so, they miss the opportunity to get better. The other half of the respondents gave their answer under three different reasons as follow. 7.1% said they didn't get a chance to participate. 3. That is about the reason why the student want to participate in class discussion. The respondents state that they participate in the speaking class because they realized that it was for their own good. It shows that the level of participation should be above average, considering that they are aware how important it is to give contribution during the speaking class. However, based on the data, it can be seen that there are some participants who are willing to contributing to the class discussion only when the teachers makes them to do that by calling their name. Otherwise, they will prefer to keep on silent, and that will be considered as non-recommended behavior because they will lose their opportunity to improve their English speaking skill. It has been asked whether students are feeling bored during class. The student of those who answered rarely and sometimes is almost equal, and those who answered never comes next. Boredom can be caused by many factors such as the teaching method, the teacher's performance, and the student condition. To know the students' awareness about the importance of using English in daily life, the readers provide the question. The awareness is shown by among 71.44% of respondents who state that they strongly agree with the statement. If we want to speak other language fluently, we have to practice it. Such behavior is believed will lead them to get better achievement and progress. Writers also want to know whether there is a relationship between their habit in speaking English and their participation in the class. It can be seen by the question. The number of respondents who have the habit of speaking English in their daily life showed a quite satisfactory number. 60.7% of the respondents said they sometimes speak English in their daily life, but 32.1% said they say that they rarely do that. Sometimes this situation is understood as the participants do not live in English-speaking country. Therefore, it is quite difficult to meet people who are able to talk in English with. Now we go on internet issues. As it is stated in figure 11 above, only amount 7.1% out of the 28 respondents have never had a problem related to the internet. The biggest number is shown that the issue come up sometimes for 42.9% out of the respondents, which actually kind of unsurprising fact, since the government also provide internet data subsidy for the students all over Indonesia. The number of respondents who always have internet issues is 14.3%. From the diagram, we can conclude that the internet issues are not the biggest problem in relating to giving participation during online learning. It is true that we can see the number of respondents with zero internet issues is the lowest, which is not surprising, but the number of respondents with less issues is big. We go ahead on the discussion. Based on the result of the questionnaire and interviewing the respondents, all of the respondents like learning in speaking class. They want to enrich their vocabularies by communicating in English, so that they can speak English fluently. But some of the respondents still feel the speaking class is difficult. It is because they still feel afraid of making mistakes when they speak. They are shy and not confident to say in front of the lecturer or their friends, and they are still confused when making a statement in English. And those problems are becoming a bigger problem because of the pandemic. Conclusion: some technical issues came up in the online class, such as internet connection, student contribution, and student condition. These issues somehow have affected the online teaching and learning process. Internet connection, which mostly became the hot issue, and also the device being used, which was sometimes not compatible to the program used in the teaching and learning process. Thus, some students like to communicate offline rather than online. The other reasons why they like to communicate offline are they can communicate by seeing each other's gesture and body language, so they can focus more on the communication itself and forget about technical issues caused by the digital technology. The student like learning to speak in English, but some of the students still have difficulties in speaking class. It is because they still feel afraid of making mistakes when they speak. They are shy and not confident to say in front of the lecturer and their friends. And they are still confused when making the statement in English, even though they have to thinking about the grammar or the structure to make the statement in English to be good as a statement or the sentence, even conversation. Alright, that's only my presentation about the journal. Thank you everyone. Good evening.